do every time. I thank you for this day you've blessed us with, and especially for this day, Father. It's been such a great happening, and these two sovereigns and their staff working so hard on this legislation that will make the lives of our people better and allow us to exercise the heritage and culture that we grew up with and for decades and decades. We thank you for that, Father, for the guidance that you gave them, and for the hard work that they've done to come to this agreement. And Father, I'd ask that you'd bless it as it goes forward, and anything that comes up during the next 3 years, that knowing that these folks have the ability and the compassion to work out any issues or problems. Thank you again for guidance for the state leaders and for our tribal leaders, and I would ask your guidance on our federal leaders too, Father. And for those in uniform, first responders, our military, watch over them, keep them safe today, Father. Make this a good day for them too. Thank you again. You bless us in so many ways, and we love you, Lord. Again, thank you, and I'd ask that you'd forgive us where we fail. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Deputy Chief. It's now my honor and privilege to introduce a man whose vision has brought us here today, and that's the Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Bill John Baker.
CO, this is a great day in the Cherokee Nation where we get to exercise our sovereignty to partner with the state of Oklahoma so that not only can each and every one of our citizens hunt and fish in the 14 counties, but they can trophy fish at Beaver's Bend. They can go out and take the turkeys in western Oklahoma. They can, if they're a Cherokee that lives outside the 14, they can take their kids to the rivers or lakes or ponds close to their home, wherever they live in Oklahoma. This is truly an exercise of our sovereignty. This is truly working together to make the lives of Oklahomans better. It gives the state the opportunity to tap into federal dollars to help manage fish and wildlife all over the state of Oklahoma. If they had come to us and says, hey, we need to do a plan to protect the wildlife, to do the things that we believe in, we would have donated them $300,000, folks. But instead, we can partner. We can sign this historic agreement and go along as equal sovereigns. I see it as a win for the Cherokee people. I see it as a win for the people of the state of Oklahoma. You know, we started on this journey some 12 years ago. We went out into the communities and we asked our people about hunting and fishing. And everybody was for it. We talked to folks that they wanted a hunting and fishing compact. They wanted to know that they could exercise the of Oklahoma. But with this governor, with her team and our team, we were able to do the deal. I couldn't be more proud. God bless each and every one of you here, the state of Oklahoma, and God bless the Cherokee Nation.
Chief Baker, thank you. And I would now like to invite the governor of our great state, who whose leadership also brought us here today, Governor Mary Fallin.
And this truly is a historic day for the state of Oklahoma and the Cherokee Nation, and we appreciate all the wonderful cooperation, negotiations, as you said, Chief, that have been going on for over a decade now, and finally to come. And thank you all for joining us today for this very special ceremony. We managed to get through all the rain and the flood, and I almost had to take a boat to get here, but we got here today. It's rained pretty much all the way from Oklahoma City to get here today. But Chief Baker, I want to thank you and all your tribal members, your council, especially for your leadership, particularly, and helping us to negotiate this. And we appreciate all that you have done to work with the state of Oklahoma to do what's in the best interests of all the citizens of our state, and certainly for your tribal members. We appreciate that, and you're doing a great job. You've been a great leader for this nation. We appreciate you. The Hunting and Fishing Compact that Chief Baker and I and our teams have been able to work reflects what I like to call a cooperative relationship. Something I think we need more of in the state of Oklahoma. One that will not only, as I said, benefit our state, benefit the Cherokees, but could potentially benefit all the tribes in the state of Oklahoma. And there are other states and other tribal nations that many times go down the path of litigating versus negotiating and cooperation. But as you mentioned, over the last 11, almost 12 years, General, we have been working together to try to find a resolution so that we could do something good for everyone today and to cooperatively work together. So it is a big day for all of us. The compact is one of the first of its kind in the country and can serve, I think, as a model for other states and certainly other tribes within the state itself. So I'd like to recognize several people that have worked very hard to make the compact possible. First of all, I'll just start with Chief Bill John Baker. Thank you very much for your leadership, your tribal council, your Attorney General Hembry. We appreciate all that you have done. Thank you very much for your tremendous work. He's not here today, but I also want to thank my General Counsel, Steve Mullins. I know that you've got to know him very well, and he has worked very hard. He's persistent. I hope he's fair. I think he's fair. And he certainly does a great job for me, and I appreciate the manner in which he worked so very hard to make this day possible. And also I have joining me another gentleman, Jeff Cartmill, which I think, Jeff, there you are, which I think many of you know and have known and worked with over the past. He's one of our attorneys that works on tribal issues and works for the Office of Emergency Enterprise Services, Office of Management Enterprise Services. I'm used to saying emergency because we've had so many floods lately. But management services. But thank you, Jeffrey, for all your work and all that you have done, too. Certainly the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife and its director, Richard Hatcher. I know he has worked very, very hard with the Wildlife Commission. Our Secretary of State and Native American Affairs, we appreciate Chris Benz joining us today. Thank you, Chris, for all your work. And I know that you've met with the chief and tribal members several occasions on various issues. Our former Secretary of State, Glenn Coffey, has joined us here today. Thank you for joining us. It's always good to see you too, my friend. And certainly all the, as I mentioned, the tribal members and the Attorney General, we appreciate all of your work. The state of Oklahoma, the Cherokee Nation, actually has already signed compacts before for motor vehicle tags and also for tobacco. And so we are very pleased today to sign in a few moments a 3-year agreement for hunting and fishing licenses for the Cherokee tribal members and to be able to finish the successful negotiations that we have. The compact will create a dual jurisdiction of hunting and fishing licenses for the citizens of the Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma, and each Cherokee citizen will now be eligible for that license. And certainly it gives them the rights as on hunting and fishing in Oklahoma, and as courtesy of the Cherokee Nation, which I think is a very nice thing too for you to be able to offer. We think this will help at least around 125,000 new Cherokee hunting and fishing licenses to be issued. And as you mentioned, the neat potential of this negotiation is that it'll also increase the funding, hopefully, that we receive to the Oklahoma Wildlife Commission to help us preserve our management of our wildlife in Oklahoma, and certainly to be able to be better at conservation of our precious land and resources that we have. And so I want to thank Chief Bill John Baker, the tribal members, for all that you have done to help us reach this day. Certainly want to thank my staff, and just say I think it is a win-win for the state of Oklahoma and all of our citizens, Cherokee Nation, and certainly all of us that are citizens of the state of Oklahoma. So congratulations to all of you. We appreciate you, and we'll look forward to having more things that are good for all of us come down the line. So Chief, whenever you're ready, whatever the part of the program is, I am ready to sign.
There. Okay, certainly.
We'll set your copy.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Governor, for those remarks. Before we move on with the signing, two more items. One is we've already recognized him, but I'll tell you that Cherokee Nation leadership could not be more proud of our Attorney General, Todd Hembry, and he had a great team, and I'd like him and his team to stand, and let's give him a round of applause and his team. And now I'd like to hear from a man whose legacy of leadership still positively impacts the Cherokee people today, and that is the former chief of the Cherokee Nation and current council member, Joe Burt.
OCO. I'd just like to commend and thank the governor for taking her busy time and being here. I'd like to thank the Attorney General and his staff also for the diligence they did in their work, and the staff here at Cherokee Nation. As Chief Baker said, the tribe's cost is minimal per user under this new compact. I've had the opportunity to go out in the rural areas where our hunters and fishermen are, and my good friend back there from Delaware County, we have visited many places here in the compacts are not new to the Cherokee Nation. We did the Tobacco Compact in '92 under the Man-Killer administration. We also did the Motor Fuels Compact under Governor Keating under my administration in '96. So compacts, when they are mentioned, you usually have someone say, we are giving up something. Actually, from a famous person, a senator, United States Senator Inouye once said, tribes, quit sitting on your sovereignty. Get out and exert your sovereignty. And that's what we just did, folks. We are literally as a sovereign. It is the goal of the Cherokee Nation to protect and enhance the wildlife resources of future generations. And that's what we will do with us and the state of Oklahoma. We feel good about this. All of you Cherokees, all of you people. 39 tribes in the state of Oklahoma. Sometimes we have to take the lead. We had the first schools west of the Mississippi. Had the first female seminary, we had the first written language, had first newspaper. Why don't we do the first hunt and fishing compact? There we go. So with that, we can even hunt and fish outside the 14-county jurisdiction. Now, Rob, some of you and your friends, we said hunting and fishing. We didn't say taking their horses. Okay. And the women. Leave the women alone. So in closing, the Cherokee Nation values this relationship with the state of Oklahoma and will always honor our wildlife and other natural resources. Thank you very much.
I think I missed a CMB board member because he caught my eye a while ago. Dan Carter, if I missed you, my apologies, but you get a second round of applause, by God. Just in case. Governor, Chief Baker, if you'd like to proceed with signing the compact.
Governor, This would be the 30th. Is that right?
It's been a rainy week.
We know what we don't know. We actually made a second.
Where's it? Oh, your son there. You did a great job.
Act like you like it. Smile, baby. Say fish. We're going to jail. It's a 30 of
Well, I'm ready for that.
everyday counts.
It's truly signed.
All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you. What's your
I'm going to say I'm
Yeah.
If you're a fisherman, we may have you go out with Jason Christie.
Yeah. If you're not, he can make you.
Yeah, one thing we're not going to is have you go out with walking stick.
We got
No.
The deputy goes, no.
No. She'd be late. All right.
we got secretary here.
Yes, so they're real quick.
Yeah, no. None of that.
I think we got one right here.
Jason.
3 actually.
Cherokee Nation. Other sides, came right up here.
Oh, you want the pen? There you go.
Sure.
It's a you surviving. Oh yeah, that's good. It's always good.
Take a picture. All right.
I was out in Texas the other day, and the water system spillway. The dance being let out. There were fishermen down there pulling up these big fish, having a great time. They had the airpan boats going up the dam. They were rushing up there, and they were trolling all the way back down. It was quite the sight.